This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
From what day you may find out, certain people not like me. Everyone cut us bag a thing now. Vex through me, I do it like Nike. But me not fear no guy, No matter how hard them a spite me, me just a go and do me thing now. Me just a do it like Nike. 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 Me just a do it like Nike.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Cleveland Clinic, ESC Distributors Limited, Fine Threads, First Caribbean Bank, Fun Foods Wholesale, the IAAF Road Relays Bahamas, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, and Tropical Gyros.
Rose gold for the Cuban link tough. How much ice just a and me rings up. From what day you may find out, certain people don't like you.
The Tuesday, April 9th edition of Talking Heads is on and popping. Your boy Naughty Indie Company right up until 6 p.m. And of course, it's Tuesday. We have the Grand Bahama Report lined up for you. The Freeport Report comes your way. Always be sure to check out The Guardian every Tuesday. Got the great Grand Bahama supplement in there from the Grand Bahama News. Be sure to check that out. We will be talking with Sarah Kirkby and Darren Cooper on the flip side of the break. Obviously, Grand Bahama is in everybody's conversation this week. It's buzzing on multiple levels. So we'll get that conversation in on the flip side of the break. Obviously, the lines will be open in New Providence, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free on anyone of the Family Islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go, GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for fresh news, smart talk all day. Right here at Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Quick break, flip side of the break. We will go live to Grand Bahama. Sarah Kirkby and Darren Cooper chiming in. We're talking everything in Grand Bahama. And of course, we will address that whole scenario involving this administration and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. The demands, the ultimatums, the back and forth. We'll go through all of that coming up on the flip side of the break. Keep it right where you got it as the Tuesday, April 9th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You get cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We can make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Enjoy the flavors of summer with a mega-sized KFC combo and get a secret code for a chance to win. KFC and Pepsi is giving away daily beach bundles of a KFC bag packed with KFC shades, a bucket of 25 KFC whole wings, and a 2-liter Pepsi, plus a weekly cash prize of $1,000. Whether it's original recipe, spicy, or barbecue, get your favorite KFC combo today and mega-size your summer fun. KFC Nassau, it's mega finger-licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
All right, we're back at you on the Tuesday, April 9th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy, Naughty and your company, right up until 6 p.m. Let's go to Grand Bahama. We got Sarah Kirkby from the Grand Bahama News. And, of course, we got my good friend Darren Cooper, activist, agitator, motivator, sometimes instigator, such as myself. Good video yesterday, Darren.
Oh, Lord, I didn't get the intro. Why don't I get the intro?
I gave you ladies first, right out the gate. Sarah Kirkby, Grand Bahama News. You didn't hear that?
Fabulous PR person.
The Pollyanna of the bunch. So don't get your knickers in the bunch. How about that? Gee whiz.
I think you. I know. I think you'd laugh at me today, Naughty. I have to tell you my story before we start. On my way to
I laugh at you all the time, Sarah. Don't worry about
it. Thanks. I was not a very good girl. I avoided some speed bumps on a road and got my ticket today.
As you rightfully should.
For avoiding it. As I rightfully should.
You let the conky Joe jump us and you come out. Well, get your ticket, tote it.
The best part about this, when he was asking me the questions were, where were you born? And I go, I'm sorry, is that part of the ticket that you need to know that? But anyhow, that was funny. But then I went to Western Bakery, my favorite bakery for patties. And I noticed that a policeman had parked right across the entire handicap parking spot. So I took a picture for you, and I'm going to send it to you later.
Out of your ticket, man. You should have worked your way out of your ticket.
I should have worked my way out of the
handicap
ticket.
parking and the patty. You could have got out of that, man. You could have negotiated. But what we got this week, Sarah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed your party as you looked at your ticket. You know what I mean? Stop running over the speed bump, Sarah. That's a no-no. Do we have Sarah, or did the police come for Sarah to pay her tickets? Are you waiting for Sarah to chime back in? Darren, what's going on, man? Good videos last couple of days, man. Very, thought-provoking and informative. But I must commend you on them because a lot of people in New Providence.
We've got some, yeah.
You back out? You back with us, Sarah? We thought the police came to give you another ticket and take your party.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we good to go, man. So why don't we do this? Let's get all the good stuff and everything in the Tuesday supplement out of the way. And then I need you guys to chime in. We got a lot of questions here in New Providence regarding, the basic ultimatum, by the government, on the Grand Bahama Port Authority. There's a lot of talk. And we need to get some clarity from Freeport, obviously, with two of you who have your finger on the pulse down there and who can actually give us the actual factual. So, Sarah, let's get the supplement out of the way. And like I always say, great supplement each and every Tuesday keeps us in touch with Grand Bahama and a lot to talk about. So let's jump right on in there so we can get to the elephant in the room. So what you got for us, Sarah?
Exactly. So there was a big donation to the 7-Day Adventist Shelter, which is hopefully preparing and being everything ready for hurricane season, but knock on wood, we're not going to have any hurricanes. So, but you can read about that today and how that's coming along and prepping to be ready for, I believe it's going to be able to hold 300 people there, which is great news. We did manage to find out some information that Darren asked us about last week on what's going on with the modular units. We understand that they're almost at final approvals. I guess that's the payment between the hospital and the company that supplied the units is almost there. with the modular units, so that then they will belong to the RAND and they will get going. We didn't get any confirmation from the hospital itself, but we did hear from the people from the modular units. You can read about that today. It's also online, and if I forget to tell you, you can sign up for the free newsletter, so you can get this the email every morning to get it all sent to you every Tuesday directly to your email. We also talk about keeping Grand Bahama clean, and it being in the environmental month. And so these are there's a lot of activities going on to keep the island clean, which I think is great. And, there's been a couple, with the Easter weekend, we had a couple of people dumping garbage on beaches and stuff like that. So this is a good call for everybody to remember that, we have tourists that come all over the island, and it's your responsibility to pick up your trash, take it home, and dispose of it properly, not throw it on the road, not put bottles in the road that cause bushfires. So this is just reminding everybody about that, which I love they're doing it. And then also we have Art Lakaya. Art Lakaya is coming back for 2024. It is supposed to be an even bigger installation. It is a variety of artists that are well known on the island. So I would encourage everyone to attend and do that. And so you can read all about it in the paper, and also to be in the 242 news tomorrow, which we e-blast out to everybody. And you can also find 242 News on Facebook. And now to the big story. Off you go.
Here we go. But, the elephant in the room is, obviously it came out on, late on Sunday, and it hit the papers and big demand. 359 million demand by this administration, the New Day government, on the Grand Bahama Port Authority to basically free up, pay up. We want it now. That sent tongues wagging across the nation. Obviously, we want to hear from Grand Bahama. Obviously, we want to know what is actually going on down there. All right? First and foremost, off the top of my head, and I got a couple of questions for you guys, but obviously I want to get through them so you guys can comment, all right? And maybe we might cross some hurdles, at the same time, and that might help everybody, but it also for clarity and get it out there in context, everybody knows what's really going on. First and foremost, the port and the port area and all its stakeholders don't they already contribute to about $200 million a year to the Treasury and taxes? And this is way more than anything any government has put into the Grand Bahama, especially this administration, correct?
Correct.
Darren?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was allowing Sarah to say correct.
All right. No, I'm just asking.
Yes. Sorry. He's trying to let me. Yes, we do, because we obviously all of our fees go into the National Treasury. So part of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement is this agreement that we have to pay, all of these services, immigration, customs, licensed road fee, all these taxes go into the government, into the port fees that are collected, and do not go to the Grand Bahama Port Authority. They go to the government. So so that's where the issue is. If I even explained that right, sorry.
Darren, you have anything?
Darren, your turn.
Yeah, my phone went out on me just now, but not sure where we left off, but as relates to Grand Bahama. Well, I got to be clear, because I think it's fair for me to say City of Freeport, because Grand Bahama, is the whole island, but City of Freeport is what the port managing what we are discussing. And so all of the revenue that's collected in the City of Freeport, the road traffic, the road tax, the customs duty, the immigration, the landing, the departure, boat registration, you name it, whatever is paid to the government in the City of Freeport goes directly to the public treasury. And from what we would have seen as relates to the yearly intake of Grand Bahama, we there about almost $200 million that we collect in taxes, and goes all into the government.
We got Darren, or did Darren drop?
Then you have the City of Freeport, the port that manages the city, that has the responsibility to deal with all of the maintenance, road cleaning, road paving, verges cleaning, collecting of garbage, picking up trash along the side of the road, maintaining street lights in the city, maintaining red lights, and you name it. They carry the responsibility for the full city of Freeport. Can they do better in some areas? Yes, they can. But we're talking about probably $8 million to $9 million that's collected yearly in license fees and service charge that has to be used for the full maintenance and management of the city. So we don't have the government the port don't tap into the $200 million that's collected in taxes. So let's be clear with that.
All right. How do Grand Bahamians feel right now, Darren and Sarah? I mean, what's the mood over there? I mean, how do they feel with this news coming out? Obviously, you know, we have some investments that we've talked about on the show, you know, coming to fruition and getting closer to come to fruition. How do those investors feel, and how do Grand Bahamians, more importantly, though, how do Grand Bahamians feel about this?
Nadi, I think there's a mixed emotion throughout the community because you have some that has a narrow view of what is going on, and all they see or all they go with is, the port is high license fees. And then I heard one lady said whilst with the PRP recording that the port just charge them all this in power. And I think it's fair for them to know that the power and the Port Authority is two separate entities. Whilst we cannot prove the ownership or some shares in the power company may be one of the principal owners of the port, they're not connected. But however, there's mixed views. Some understand where we are and some don't understand where we are. And then there's some who are just politically motivated in the fact that my government is doing this to protect me and working for my good, is their mindset. Those of us that are in the business community, I think a lot of us who will be greatly impacted and is impacted by what is going on, majority of us understand where we are. Some is not prepared to put their face out there because, again, victimization and I guess all these other stuff that they would want to ride on why they're not prepared to do so. But I want the people of Grand Bahama to know, and in particular the city of Freeport licensees, to know that this is a bill for us. This is not a bill for the St. George's nor the Haywoods. This is a bill for licensees thing related to what we pay to the port to function. This is our bill. And so if we sit down and play dead, and then I'm being told, Naughty, that the bill is actually for, and you know, this is not fact, but this is what I've been advised, that the actual bill is 160, but this is the interest that brings it to the 357. And so, you know, there's so many unanswered questions that we can't seem to get the Prime Minister or Frederick Mitchell or Alfred Sayers, because these are the three persons who are voices about the port saga, to be able to get them in a room, to be able to answer some of the questions that we as licensees, we as stakeholders, we as service charge payers have as relates to government's position. We would, you know, and while some just joined the bandwagon, we've been on this for a minute, trying to get the government in the room, trying to get the government to have
you've spoken to how the licensees have been having to have dialogue for a minute.
Yes,
for a minute. That's right.
But Darren, you also need to.
For the Prime Minister.
Sorry, Darren. I think you also need to explain about the fact, and I don't know if it was highlighted enough in our paper today, that on Sunday there were meetings with people here in Freeport, but it wasn't with the licensee group or the Chamber of Commerce who had requested those meetings.
There was two meetings, Naughty, held on Saturday. One at 4 p.m. at the Ministry of Grand Bahama with a selected group of business owners. While some would say, it was the industrial company, I asked him, well, how did the food man who sells grocery become an industrial company? Or how did the lumber man become an industrial company? But we believe it was a selected group, and I'm being strongly advised that the meeting actually was organized by one business owner and the Minister of Grand Bahama to satisfy a particular business owner who appears to be from what I've been advised, a good campaign funder. But the meeting on Saturday at 4 was only 16 business owners were allowed. I've been trying from 12 up until 3:30 to get on the list, and was told that the list is final, and they can't put none on the list, and they can't take none off the list. That's a selected list, and that's what is going to happen. They did have the meeting.
1 second though, but you said only 16 licensees were there. How many licensees? 60. Sorry, 60. But how many?
16.
16. After 15,
Of
before 17.
Of selected people. And
But how
not even
many-
the people that were in the licensee association that requested the meeting. These are just people
Over
that were
100
chosen.
But how many
randomly.
licensees are there in Grand
147
Bahama?
of us.
Okay, but only 16 select were taken to represent all of the rest of you.
Well, 16 was in the 4 o'clock meeting. And then there was a 7 o'clock meeting, which was at the PLP headquarters. And in the words of the Prime Minister, he came to meet with his family, PLPs. These are his words, not mine. He come to talk to his family, the PLPs, to give them a breakdown understanding of the 357 that they're going after. But he failed in his meeting, Naughty, to actually make sense of the 357. One, he didn't tell the PLPs, his family, that we're standing on clause 15C, XYZ. He didn't bother to explain what is the subsidy that government is doing in the port area to subsidize some of the port's projects. He didn't go into detail to tell the PLPs, his family, how did the government of the Bahamas, through Pricewater and whoever, got to the 357. But yet all he did was lambaste the Chamber of Commerce, ignored the Bahamian people, and gave them a version of a story that 90% of them, when they left there, didn't even understand. I spoke to 3 persons who were part of the 4 o'clock meeting, 2 of which confirmed. I said, did you understand what he was saying? Did you get the answers of what you went there for? And 2 of them said, didn't understand where he was going and didn't understand what he said, and no, didn't get the answers to the questions. And I asked, well, you left and didn't ask further questions? They said, oh no, we didn't ask further questions. Allowed the Prime Minister to give them BS of a story.
So,
this now for me, Naughty, as a Grand Bahamian, born, raised, bred here, got business in Grand Bahama as a licensee of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, but separate and apart from the License Association, has requested a meeting with the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister refuses to meet with us.
Let me ask you guys a blunt question, because I'm listening to what was given out. What Darren said was conveyed by the PM to those 16 special, shareholders. Licensees. But that communication seems rather vague. It seems lacking. Have you actually seen the demand letter that actually went to the Port Authority as well?
No, I've not seen it.
I'm just saying that was so vague what he gave his 16 family members. What's he giving us? What was really said to the Grand Bahama Port Authority?
Great question.
And nobody's seen the demand letter, correct?
No, nobody
not
knows.
In your capacity in the Grand Bahama News, they didn't even get. You weren't privy to it. There wasn't a copy to be, put out there for circulation.
No, we weren't given a copy of it.
Wow.
And Naughty, that's why we feel as licensees, we feel so insulted
now
by a government that claims to care about Grand Bahama and the city of Freeport, that you didn't see the need for us to be able to better understand. And guess what? We want to probably work with the government and be able to have this matter mitigated and better understand and have whatever needs to be addressed. But we don't understand what we are standing with the government for. We don't understand what the position of the government is. And so the government refuses to meet with us to be able. And you know why the government, let me say this, Naughty, you know why the government and the Prime Minister and Frederick, those are regretting or refusing to meet with us? Because they know that the people who's requesting the meeting knows the full brunt and the understanding of the agreement.
Right. I got to text
and that's why they won't meet.
Repeatedly, please ask Darren and Sarah, what role is MP or Chairman Mitchell playing in all of this dispute with the port? And again, any update on the hotel? Will this ever been sold, or is that just more lip service from DPM Cooper? But
we've had no news on the hotel. Nothing on the hotel at all.
All right.
The only role Fred Mitchell is playing in all of this is being the devil's advocate in spearing hate and mischief amongst each other. That's all he's playing. And all this moat that he claims to have and want to have, the only thing he can do is attack people via WhatsApp. But he's not brazen or bold enough or man enough to bring himself in a room to meet with us as licensees to be able to discuss, as hard as his moat is. Tell him, put his money where his mouth is and call a public business meeting and let's dance. Because clearly he only is hiding behind the WhatsApp messages. If I wasn't on national, I would have said something else. But tell him, stop dancing behind WhatsApp and come into the room and let's talk and be able to deal with this issue. And so I'm proud of the response of the port. It's time them to grow some level of boldness to be able to call out a spade and to be able to bring questions to the actions of our government, who continues to play us as if we count and continue to ignore us and treat us any kind of naughty. You know, we grown and we understand this thing better than half of those that making the noise in Nassau. This is our agreement. This is the licensee's agreement.
That's why it was so important for me to have you guys.
And this is not Nassau agreement. So for me, I know what's in the agreement, and I know what I'm privileged of, and I know what I stand on. So this is not something that I'm trying to figure out and understand. I know this thing.
That's where I would agree with Darren. Darren, 100%. I think the problem that we get frustrated with here as well, Naughty, is that people don't understand the agreement that we have with the Hawkesville Creek agreement, that the licensees are all 100% a part of it. No decisions get to be made without us. We are part of this story as well. And also, we run a different way. And all of the stories that you see and a lot of the things you see in the papers and stuff like that, all are getting opinions from people who are in Nassau, but not the opinions of the people that are in Freeport and deal with the license and deal with the bonded issue and deal with everything all the time. Darren makes a very, very valid points here.
All right.
So all we are simply trying to do, Naughty, is to be able to get this government that claims to care about us.
But that's the question I wanted to ask, because this has come up several times on text. And all right, the government is requesting this and demanding this money from the Grand Bahama Port Authority. But is there any indication that any of this money will be reinvested in Grand Bahama? Has there been anything spoken to where it will go? Will it go directly to Grand Bahama, or where's it going to go?
No, it won't go directly.
No money comes back to us anyhow.
But obviously, you know, there's different circumstances now. You making this grandiose demand. Shouldn't some of that go back to Grand Bahama for things that are lacking, like a hospital?
That's right. Naughty. Say the grammar, and it irks my heart to have to speak the way that I speak.
Mr. Producer, I need you to check down Zoom for me. Yeah.
Student facts is facts. Bahama is the way it is because of the port. Grand Bahama is the way that it is because we got to flip and wait on DEP. And we got to wait on these other government agencies out of Nassau to give companies that are eager to invest in Grand Bahama approval to be able to start any level of work. Let the record reflect that when any investor goes and make application to the Grand Bahama Port Authority, they are given approval within 10 to 14 days. And that is fact. It's been that way for a very long time. So it ain't where we don't have investments wanting to come to Grand Bahama, but we have to. And Naughty, Sarah and I are working closely with an investor, and we know what they're waiting on. And they're not waiting on the Grand Bahama Port Authority. They're waiting on DEP and other approvals. And it's been years. So stop painting the picture as if Grand Bahama is what it is because the port is not. I mean, yes, some ain't doing what they're supposed to do, but there are some who are working feverishly to bring investments to Grand Bahama and to make sure that it happens. But guess what? Everything that happens in the islands of the Bahamas has to go through a one system approval, which is DEP and BAI, something else to be able to get the final approval for government to be able to sign off for these investments to happen. And only what government Naughty is working on themselves with their involvement is getting the full level of attention that this island needs. So let's don't mislead the people and say that this government care, because if they did, they would go into depth and they would make sure, walk all these approvals process through and make sure that they're done in a timely fashion. And then we'll see the full manifestation of Grand Bahama. I believe they're playing politics, and I believe that you will see a lot of these approvals happen soon, which have been in the pipeline for some time, but just waiting on government agency approvals to actually get these off the ground. So ain't nothing new that the Ministry of Grand Bahama is doing or the Minister of Investment. These are all projects that have been sitting waiting for approval.
Let's go to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty, what's happening?
Hey, what's happening, man? Thanks for holding. What you got for me today?
Yeah, good afternoon to you and your guest. Tom, what's going on, man? Two of y'all being picking my brain. I am a homeowner in Grand Bahama. I am also a licensee in the Port Authority. And if the government would ever get their hands on the Port Authority, I'd park up and get out of Grand Bahama. That's just my personal opinion.
I probably do the same.
I have a few questions for this administration, right? What have the government done in Eastern or West Grand Bahama? Areas that they have control over. Areas that they could impact immediately if they want to, without going through the Port Authority. What have they done in Grand Bahama or East End?
Why haven't they done it? Is the question. Why?
There's no fire station. There's no fire trucks. There's no ambulance. They just put a hospital, a clinic just going up in East Grand Bahama. What in East and West Grand Bahama? If they were to collect this 200-something million, will they invest that in East and West Grand Bahama? Would they put fire station in East or West?
No, but my question is, it's so adamant for this demand, right? And claiming, what the port owes them. But look at what the port does. And look at the other surrounding areas where administrations have been responsible for, and what do we have to show for it?
And if I may add, right, 95%, I would say 97% of the people who's commenting on this Hawkesbury Creek, this Port Authority and the government issue, have never read or have even never seen the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement. Because if they had,
100%
they would have known.
100% right.
if they had, they would have known that the government cannot make no decisions, they can make no arrangements, they cannot enter any deals without the Port Authority, the licensee, and the government. You cannot make an agreement without the Port Authority, without the licensee. And who represent the licensee in Grand Bahama? The Chamber of Commerce. So how can you enter an agreement, or how can you send without speaking to the Chamber of Commerce, who represent the licensee to Grand Bahama?
And he was not at those meetings.
Naughty, what was so painful? That the Prime Minister had meetings with business owners on Saturday, and the Chamber President was not even invited to any of those meetings.
Darren, I believe that this whole just puff of smoke. This is an election campaign, so that when they come on the campaign trail, look what we was fighting for y'all in Grand Bahama. We was fighting for y'all because they know they ain't do nothing. So this is just an attempt to muddy the waters, to cloud in this, put smoke in the sky, to make the people give the people of Grand Bahama the impression, or give the people of the Bahamas, because the people in Grand Bahama know better, because we could see and feel all this investment and all these things supposed to be going on in Grand Bahama, but the Ministry of Grand Bahama still have people on the side of the road cleaning up. Don't you think we would have seen that? Don't you think we would have seen it? So all this is just smoke and mirrors.
Let me say this too, just to be clear before we run on. There is a government who is seeking compensation on an agreement that says that in this agreement let me if you give me a few minutes to break this history down. When we think about the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement, let's think about Grand Bahama would being an undeveloped island. And when we look at other government islands, there's none like Grand Bahama. The infrastructure, the layout, the whole map of everything, properly organized, business zones, residential zones, industrial zones. We got them. We got them all over. So here is an island that a developer says, hey, we want to be able to do X, Y, Z. There is no other island that has the government services that Grand Bahama has. Just about all of government services, this one island has them. So here is the developer saying, look here, we want to make this the second city. We want to be able to make sure that we have a one-stop shop in Grand Bahama. So what we are prepared to do is, we're prepared to entertain government agencies, essential agencies that's necessary for the growth and the development of this island. We're going to embrace them. But if there is a shortfall, or if there is a shortage in your revenue intake, we are going to meet that. Okay? So here is a city now being properly designed and properly organized. Now you have an organized second city with all these government essential services. You can't come and tell me that in this 357, we decide to put the Ministry of Grand Bahama and the beautiful Grand Bahama for cleaning the city up a part of this bill, which doesn't make sense because we already have a contract with someone to clean the community. So what we have a government doing is we have a government going after the 1.5 under the agreement that says we would meet the commitment on shortfall. But the government haven't even said to us what has been the 5-year shortfall that accumulated to the 5.7. And not only, what is also baffling and confusing to me is that the law allows you to go back 6 years in being able to retrieve and to recoup up to 6 years. Why are you so merciful on the 6th year and you so gung-ho on the 5 years? So why not just bring in the 6th year? So all that is concerning. So again, tell us what has been the 5-year shortfall per year. What has been the subsidy that you've been doing? What has been this and what? Yeah, you've been claiming to do all of these things and also maintain and manage the city. Tell us what you've done in the city. You say that the port has not cleaned up Grand Bahama.
Let me ask this question. We all heard the millions and millions of promises made by this administration on the campaign trail. Promises to Grand Bahama, promises to West End, promises to the city of Freeport. Have we seen any movement on those promises? Namely, new job creation. We talk week in and week out. I don't have any great new job creation.
There is. We must be fair now. There is new job creation, Noddy, and it's called beautiful Grand Bahama.
Okay.
That we paying, the government copper paying for them to go home half a day every day. And some of them don't even come to work, but they get paid. That's the new job creation in Grand Bahama.
Now, what about the Defense Force base?
None.
Nothing there. What about the school in West End? Oh, Lord, here we go again.
Same way. No new police station in 8 Mile Rock.
I just going to ask.
No new police station in West End, sorry. No seawall in West End. No park in Pine Forest. No government school. Still the same way they left it when school was open last year.
What about the new docks in West End? And the Fishing Village project in West Grand Bahama?
None.
What about the affordable housing?
None.
What about the new airport for Bimini? None.
You see anything?
No,
I just been there.
You're all closer than me. You're there. I can imagine what the answers would be, but I'd rather hear from someone who's there.
None. The fire trucks that
West End has nothing ready to show.
No, because the fire trucks that they had all over beautiful Grand Bahama, Ministry of Grand Bahama page, still in the middle of the fire station, can't move. Still break down from there, bring it in. So we're still fighting with 2 fire trucks. One is not a fully 100% function. So they show up the fire. They show up the fires just to say that we were there to give a report, not really to fight fires like we expect them to, because they don't have the capacity and they don't have the full function of these trucks. You had an ambulance the other day that would have gotten into an accident which shot us by one ambulance. So that we're now up to 3 ambulances that the whole island from east to west is dealing with. You still have the police station still at the same old rat infested leaky whatever building, even though they would have opened the Obi Welchcombe community complex police officers can access the new police coinages. Some of the government agencies that were opened or that was down there only opened for the grand opening, the political stunt. They have all now since closed their doors. So the complex really only have technically five offices that's functioning. But nothing to say this government. They opened the prop club in Alukaya. And I think that's probably only thing that I could put my hand on. They have beautiful grandmama. Then this thing called Collab in the back of town. They're also supposed to be doing something down there in Peel Street. That's in stop over a year now. And all of some of the houses in the back of town for Collab is not fully finished yet. So, it's just a bunch of questions that we have that doesn't have any answers to go with them.
All right, I got a couple of more for you there, Darren. All right, real quick. Government doesn't want Grand Bahama to prosper because that'll make the government-led islands look extra nasty. Freeport is the cleanest city in the Bahamas and is not government-led. See how bad that looks? Foreigners manage this country better than Bahamians. And here's another one. I don't care what the details are, the port needs to go. Should never have a private group or entity governing citizens of a country aside from others. Here's another one. Naughty. It would be nice for Guardian Radio to grab a real interview about details from the Minister of Grand Bahama, who was the executive level as vice president some time ago. What say her from a balanced view? But then again, balance may mean her getting fired. Well, she hasn't said anything of substance in 3 years. So I don't expect her to say anything of substance now. Naughty, has the new MP Kingsley brought anything to West End or Bimini Post by-election? Darren? Sarah?
No, nothing yet. He's still trying to come to...
We're trying to get an update from him. We're trying to get an update from him for the paper. We're waiting
He's
to
still
hear
trying to come
from
to
him so
grips
we can get that.
that he's the MP for West End and Bimini. He ain't come to grips with that yet.
The 6th year is when the Minister of Grand Bahama was working at the port as vice president. I'm amazed at how quiet Ginger Moxie, the Minister of Grand Bahama, is. Being an executive, one would figure her input would be heard with regards to this dispute. Her expertise may be... All right. As we say in the comedy world, crickets. All right, let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking heads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, talking heads.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Listen, man, that's like how you say the Minister of Grand Bahama. These people can't be Bahamian, man. Because all they thinking about is these yellow shirt and thing they promoting and wearing. You got to think about the Bahamian people, man. And I am a Grand Bahamian living in Nassau currently because of the environment in Grand Bahama now. If you want to know PLP, ain't nothing happening for you. You understand? Nothing at all. We all Bahamians, and we all need to get the same opportunities everybody else getting. That's because I don't wear no party on my sleeve. Don't mean I can't get the same opportunities that everybody else is getting. And Darren could relay that further to what's going on in Grand Bahama. All this is a political ploy with this Port Authority thing, and there's a bunch of foolishness, man. Let's get down to getting the people work done. Understand? That's all I gotta say.
All right, good call as always, caller.
No, I think the caller is onto it. The fact is, we have a government that's just literally refusing to come to the table. That's where we are. We have a government as calm and as
Mr. Producer, we got two callers. Go ahead, Darren.
We just have a government that doesn't want to meet to the table. And then the Prime Minister said that he's met with the Port Authority on numerous occasions, but never, and these are my words, never to discuss this 357, but to discuss the purchase of the Port Authority and the fact that they were the meeting was not successful. Now we are talking about a bill or what you owe us, and it looks bad. It looks bad to the fact that I couldn't have my way with this investor, so I'm now going to force him to do what I want to do, or I'm going to embarrass him. And the truth be told, it hurts us. This is a even though it's an arbitration, this is a lawsuit that's coming at licensees, and they are not even in the discussion of what's going on. This is not.
And imagine how it looks how does it look to investors coming in?
That's right.
I mean, how does it look if you have a government that's not agreed with the Port Authority and you know that you've got to go to both places to get approval to get in. That's the scary part. That's the part that everyone's more worried about. You know, we've got the shipyard happening. We have the Celebration Key. We hopefully have Weller. We're still waiting on some approvals. But these are all the kind of things that are stopping us from, you know, these are things that are happening. First of all, we're hopeful that it's not going to change because these investors won't see this and get upset. But I'm more worried as a licensee of this area, you know, you don't want people to be scared off from coming here. And they have choices of which island to go to. And Grand Bahama feels like it's on a rebound. And I don't want that to change because of a disagreement that should have been done maybe internally and within the government and the Port Authority themselves. And not,
that question has come up a lot too. So I'm glad we spoke to that. Let's get to the phone lines as well. Go ahead, Darren.
Our Prime Minister has been very reckless in his comments because all of this started after one Dubai trip and an interview in Grand Bahama where he made the public statement that investor confidence in Grand Bahama is on its all-time low. And it started from there. And it never came uphill. It just kept going downhill. And instead of him being responsible enough as the nation's chief to be able to call this group into a private session and now say to them, how do we chart our way forward to be able, one, to get this island where it needs to go, how it needs to function, and then be able to say, this is my expectation from you, failure to meet them, these are what is going to come behind. None of that was done. None of that. And if it was, he would have been the first to say he did so. And so this is where we are. Come on, man. Let's stop doing politics with the livelihood of Grand Bahamians. That's what we're doing.
Let's go to these other two calls. You got to be quick. Talking Heads, caller, you got to be quick. Who's this?
Yeah, good afternoon, Nari. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Anton?
Everything cool, and good afternoon to your guest. Can't remember the names right now. Sorry.
Darren Cooper and Sharon Kirby.
Sarah and Darren. Good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon to the nation.
Good afternoon.
Several things I have a concern with that Darren is expressing on the show. First and foremost, the discussions as it relates to the government went as far back as Mr. Christie with the Grand Bahama Port Authority as it relates to what the government is prepared to accept and what it is not prepared to accept. Those discussions continued forward with the current administration, the Davis administration, right? And so nothing is afoot as it relates to not being open and not expressing.
That's an incorrect statement. That is an incorrect statement. The discussion that the Grand Bahama Port Authority had with government has been on an extension of a portion of the agreement that is presently today expired. So it's never been on the way forward for Grand Bahama. It's been on an extension.
Tell me something, Darren.
That extension started on
and there's limited time. So just give me a moment, please. Just give me a moment to make my point before time runs out.
And I got to correct you on certain statement. I can't let you make it just...
No.
This is hard when we can go into 5 o'clock today if we need to.
Yeah, what you were saying is completely incorrect because the Christie administration had an entire report produced by the McKinsey Group, which studied everything that needed to happen in Grand Bahama in order to help it to grow, in order to help it to expand, in order to create a better environment for businesses operating, and also in order to improve relations as it relates to government revenue. Okay, it was not limited to no extension as you were suggesting. What Mr. Davis is seeking to do is have the Grand Bahama Port Authority perform the way it's supposed to perform, to bring in investment as it is mandated to supply according to the agreement in decades. And so the governments of the Bahamas have been very, very patient with the Grand Bahama Port Authority while it has been collecting in excess of $150 million in taxes while not performing its duties as mandated by the contract. Mr. Davis then went to an independent, one of the foremost leaders in the world of accounting and auditing, one of the foremost leaders, Price Waterhouse. He requested their services. They went in, conducted their analysis, did the groundwork, studied the document, produced a report, not based on what the Davis administration said. They produced an independent report, okay? And I would take Price Waterhouse's word any day over yours or anyone in that studio. Any day over yours or anyone in that studio. They are a reputable company.
Can I answer that?
Respected.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Can I answer that? No one's actually disputing the company or Price Waterhouse. No one has a problem with that, but it's I hate this word, statistical facts. Nobody has that. The government, we don't have that information. And I think you're misleading people by saying that the taxes are being sent to the Port Authority. They're not. All these fees go into the pot of the government. Our road tax fees, all the immigration fees, the customs, like when Polymers or Pharmachem, all those immigration fees all go into the pot of the government. They do not go into the Port Authority. So that has to be very clear where that money is going. And none of that money comes back because the roads here are maintained by the Port Authority. The Port Authority does a lot of things. No one here is saying that the Port Authority does anything perfect. We're very clear on that. But I think you can't expect us just to agree to a $357 million bill when there's been no explanation of what that bill is for and where those numbers are coming from, when there are no stats or information on it and no one has them but the government. That's my thought on it as a licensee.
The call is done. I want to let him finish before I respond to him.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think he's done.
I didn't want him to go. I wanted to stand the line while I asked him a few questions.
I'm sure he's listening, but I'm sure he's strategically departed.
I want him to be on the phone because he's talking about a McKinsey report, which has never surfaced since 2016.
I was just about to ask you. They need to release
a report.
2016. Well, I telling you, Darren, you reading my text. I mean, I'm telling you, the McKinsey report.
Could you reference a report?
2016.
That's not that. Separate apart from that, you talk about what goes into what is collected, which is error. So the caller only could be from Nassau. You can't be from Freeport, and that's where we have the problem now. We got so much Nassauvians that understand this thing better than us who live here. So don't come on national radio slapping up yourself with these reports. Yes, there was a body formed under Perry Christie, and that body was led by Marcus Bethel, Dr. Marcus Bethel, that led that team and that gave a comprehensive overview. But that started based upon a request of a portion of the agreement that expired. So they decided to compile an overall analysis of Grand Bahama. We have people talk about how Hubert Ingram extended the Hawks agreement for 99 years, which is a myth. It was a portion of the agreement that expired, and what that administration sought to do. And see, the agreement that we're talking about that was expired, and Zhivago break it down better too. That this was an agreement. When this agreement was formed, it was formed for some 80% licensees being foreigners, and when it expired, 80% of licensees now being Grand Bahamians. So how do we now ignore the agreement and then force them to pay more when we should actually embrace the agreement, the amendment, or the extension, and then be able to get out a school, the St. George's High, the Jack Haywood, the Arts Center, and many others like the gyms and so forth.
Question for you. You guys got a couple of minutes so we can get the news out of the way and wrap this up in the 5 o'clock hour? Phone lines are full, text lines are full.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna stay on for about 15 minutes and then I have to go.
All right, no
problem.
Me too.
It's good, and I'm getting texts too with a lot of support from people. I thank you. It's amazing. People are really calling in and messaging everybody.
We'll do the extra 15 or 20 on the flip side of the break. Keep it right where you got it. We're gonna wrap up with Grand Bahama right after the news, as the Tuesday, April 9th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this. Call us. You can hang tight or call us back right after the news.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Made exactly the way they should be by someone with chicken in their name. The new quarter pound of all white meat, triple breaded, spicy chicken breast filet on a freshly toasted buttery brioche bun. With your choice of lettuce, tomato, bacon, thick cut pickles, and the perfect amount of Colonel's real mayo or spicy sauce. Every chicken sandwich is freshly prepared and piping hot. Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwiches, the only chicken sandwiches that are finger-licking good.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News sales representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
Happy birthday to you. On Wednesday, April 10th, Guardian Radio 96.9 is turning 12. Every day for 12 years, Guardian Radio has given the Bahamas fresh news. Join all the Guardian Radio hosts as they celebrate Guardian Radio's anniversary all day, Wednesday, April 10th, starting with Morning Blend and special guest, the Royal Bahamas Police Force Pop and Marching Band. Guardian Radio's 12th anniversary broadcast is sponsored by El Shaddai Party Rentals, Dunkin' Donuts, Tropical Gyros, Drifters, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Bristol Wine and Spirit.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Is history in the making at the 2024 World Athletic Relays Chase the Sun, Paradise to Paris, happening here in Nassau, Bahamas. Hundreds of the best runners from more than 40 countries will compete for their place in the 2024 Paris Olympics, May 4th and 5th at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Get your tickets early at worldrelaysbahamas24.org or at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium box office.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Cleveland Clinic, ESC Distributors Limited, Fine Threads, First Caribbean Bank, Fun Foods Wholesale, the IAAF World Relays Bahamas, John's Department Store, Chokers Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, and Tropical Gyros.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, April 9th edition of Talking Heads. We still have Darren and Sarah in our company. I appreciate that you guys going a little overtime for us today. Another question for you, and we got another call, and we got another couple of texts for you, but I got to get this one in for you. Question, Naughty. At $357 million, the government is basically saying the port has owed them on average $71 million for the last 5 years. I'm hearing talk about the salaries for government employees who are stationed in Freeport in the calculation. I wonder, how are they accounting for those pandemic years? I need our government to explain to us what they are calculating so we can all as Bahamians, but especially Grand Bahamians, understand better.
Charging for us stuff during the pandemic. Everybody was off work. That was totally with that caller. Sorry, got excited there.
Text of it, yeah, okay.
Before we took the break, because the caller prior to the break, before the break, made a comment about investment in Grand Bahama, and I alluded to it while I spoke earlier. That yes, there are some people in the Port Authority that Darren would like to fire and send home because I think they're lazy and doing nothing. But we cannot again put the full brunt of.
We got Darren. You got to stay still, Darren. Don't move. You move, you drop.
We cannot put the full brunt.
Go back to where you were, Darren.
Hello?
Unmute yourself now. You muted yourself.
There we go. We got you. We got you. You're back on.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We cannot put the full brunt of government investment on the full backs, the investments in Grand Bahama on the full backs of the port, because we have to also remember that it's government agency that has to give these bodies approval. And like I said, sir, and I can confirm that we are working with some that's still waiting on government approval. So if government was really serious, go ahead and get busy in approving the investment.
We still got him, or we lost him again?
I think we lost him again, unfortunately.
All right, you're back.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now. Let me get these callers real quick, and we'll get right back to some more text. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty.
Hey, what's going on?
With all due respect, Antoine, don't need to be saying nothing but Grand Bahama. No more on the airways, eh? That's disrespectful. He don't know what the people going through over there. He should have no input on what's going on in Grand Bahama. You understand? That's all I can say.
Yes, sir. I know you're a proud Grand Bahamian. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Agreed.
Hey, good day. I hope all is well with everyone.
Yeah.
I hope the panel is having an amazing day. I just have a couple of questions, I think. Hopefully I can get those answered. Because I have to.
Wow, we have the. Hold on, wait a minute. We have the great black belt Deshaun Bannister calling the show. You know this number one call. You know you bump Anton to the side and bring Deshaun out. You know they're going to the bullpen. Go ahead, Des.
Good day, Naughty. I hope all is well with you, my brother.
You know you can't slide by me now. Fastball, curveball, or slider. Go ahead.
Okay, my thing is that I could be wrong, but I seem to have noticed a tone or an undertone in the show based on a lot of the questions and some of the comments that the government needs to maybe be more thorough about what they actually are asking the Port Authority to pay. To which then I realized the government, they've come with work with Price, what is it? Cooper's, Price Waterhouse. They got so many names. But a major accounting firm, in order to come to what their pricing is, and they've stated that they've had that. I guess my question will be is, do you feel that the Port Authority is in position or even prepared to state what their bill actually is? Are they prepared to present to the Bahamian people what they have paid and provide proof to go along with what the government's saying that they have?
They can't because it's the government's money. I think that's what you're missing here. There's no bill that they have to pay. There's no statement like, here's your bill. The thing is that the Freeport City proper pays all of its money, its immigration, its customs duties, its airport taxes, everything like that gets paid to the government. The government collects it.
But hold on,
so the
sir.
government
my
knows how
question
much
is,
money it is.
in relation to Deshaun's question, what exactly was Price Waterhouse Cooper asked to account for? The government brought them in, but what did they ask them to account for?
I mean, has the port gotten an answer for that? I mean, so I guess what we're saying is that the port is stating that their position is they owe zero. They owe the government. Let me rephrase the question. Has the government been paying for services that the port was supposed to be paying for? Has that been happening?
And that's a question the government should be able to answer.
because we
no,
don't
I
know.
mean, but there's a port representative on the phone, right?
No.
No.
Okay, someone who could speak to it. Let's just say someone who could speak to be able to answer that. Or no? Can we? Because can we? Or no? Maybe
Nothing.
maybe
That's
getting
right.
ahead of
Nothing can be
myself.
answered because the information breakdown is we don't know what the
And then on
calculations
top of
are.
that, Price Water Cooper has been given something to do from the government. Question: what was that?
Right.
Second question: have we seen the report from them? So we're debating something to say who got credibility from who don't have credibility. But the truth be told, we don't even know what they were asked to do and what they would have done and what their findings of their report would have been. So we really don't know.
And
we
last
don't
time I
have the
checked,
reports.
whether they
We
want
don't
to
have
be
the
or
report,
not,
the McKinsey report, nothing. We have none of those reports to
nor
go by.
proper
It's
Freedom of
just
Information
conjecture.
Act, none of that. But listen,
And then the same McKinsey report that was never even used because the election happened thereafter.
and you know it's getting lost in all of this. Governments are accountable to people, to the voters. We're asking leaders, to our elected leaders, to answer some questions and to tell us, and they can't. A lot of smoke and a lot of mirrors, but no substance.
Correct.
Couple of more calls. Let's get to them real quick. Talking Heads. Talking Heads. Okay, go ahead. What's your next question? Because we got like 3 other calls there, Desron. So what's your next one?
Okay,
real
okay.
quick?
I may have missed you guys' answer to that last question. Let me just ask it one more time. Okay, maybe we could get somebody from the port. I know you're a big time enough guy. You could make that happen, Naughty. What we need to know from the port is, has the government been paying for anything that they are legally supposed to pay? And if so, how much?
Again, that information has not been made available, but you know who you could start asking? Right in the PLP camp, Ginger Moxie, Minister for Grand Bahama, who's been employed by the port for years. She should be able to speak to it. It's amazing that she hasn't.
Here's the thing. This is what I'd like.
You can't get no more Grand Bahama, Port Authority affiliated than that, hey?
You know what?
But I think the question, your question is mute because you're asking a question that's not reasonable. There is no annual bill that the Port Authority has to pay to the government.
That's
the government earns certain revenues. If you want me to finish, that comes into the government based on how much business and flow there is, immigration, customs, how many airplanes they collect, all their taxes. If you read the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, and I know C. Allen's listening, and he'll know this answer, it has to pay for certain things that cover the government expenses, salaries for. We have to generate enough revenue, basically, to cover for salaries for certain people, for the immigration officers, for things like that. It has always covered that because we have always brought in more than we were supposed to even cover in expenses, including additional things that Hubert Alexander Ingram, when he was prime minister, sorted out, which was building the schools, which we weren't responsible for. All of this was done by the Freeport Licensees Association when they presented this at a town meeting. These were all additional things that were done as part of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. And if you understand that, which a lot of people don't, you'll see where this issue is. So they've been issued a bill, but the problem is we don't know where we're defunct or where we're short of because no one's explained how much we've given. If you knew where you were.
And that's why we've been asking, Sarah.
You were in 2020.
And that's why we've been asking the question to the government. What has been the shortfall per year for the 5 years you are billing? Because the agreement is on its shortfall. So if the government don't meet it target for salaries and utilities and operation for that particular year, then there is an outstanding. So the 200 million that we are collecting in taxes in Grand Bahama, are you saying that our salaries and operational costs for government agencies in the city of Freeport surpass $200 million per year? And if it does, then we need to do an analysis on the fact that we may be overstaffed in these areas. And then too, when we look at the Ministry of Grand Bahama, what is the role of the Ministry of Grand Bahama that you would now want to attach this to the shortfall, if it may be? And then what is the purpose of the Ministry of Grand Bahama's beautiful Grand Bahama when we have sanitation services that has a contract to keep the city clean? So all of those are questions that we really don't have answers for. So what we're doing basically is trying to get answers from the PLP government, from the government of the Bahamas, to be able to say, this is where we are. This is what PricewaterhouseCoopers came up with based upon, on what grounds? So we don't have those answers. But what we are saying as Grand Bahamian, as licensees, is that what is being claimed doesn't make proper sense. And that's what we are trying to get better clarity and understanding on.
All right, let's get these last two calls, and then I'm going to wrap up with you guys. Talking Heads, real quick. Make it fast. Talking Heads.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hi.
How are you?
Okay, good. Yeah. I believe, you've got to stand back from this problem, in the sense that, when Freeport came online in the early 60s, it was on a path, and it was about to eclipse Nassau. Okay? Now, I believe that's the main reason why it was stopped or made, hard things over there. Okay? Now, we have to accept the idea that the structure in Nassau report as a political football, okay? And they don't want Freeport to come online. But,
All right, caller, thanks. I appreciate that one. Yeah, I mean, that has been the cry of some Grand Bahamians, many old school Grand Bahamians as well. Last one right here, Mr. Producer. Let's get this one and wrap this one up. Talking Heads.
Good afternoon to everybody in the room. C. Allen Johnson.
Hey, C. Allen, you got to make it quick for me.
Make it quick. I think Darren touched a number of things, but here's the problem you have as a data person, let me tell you. Whatever the demand is being made now, it cannot be done without the context of the first extension that was given from 1990 to 2015, as well as the arrangements that was made by the former Prime Minister, Mr. Perry Glasgow, and Christine, whatever MOU, whatever he put on the table. But here's another problem. No decision concerning the Hawke's Bay Creek Agreement or even major enforcement should have been made or can be made without 80% involvement of the licensee, something that or that no conversations happen with them. Landowners are quasi licensee. But now let's go through some taxes that you may have collected. Does the question that is being billed now, does it reflect the taxes that's been collected from road traffic? Does it reflect the taxes that's been collected from the gasoline taxes, from the tires, it's a host of different questions that has to be answered. And one of the things is that, they say governance without consent of the governed is the definition of slavery. In Freeport, we are simply saying is that we are not slaves. We are seeking consent. We are seeking involvement, not just in this issue, but in the economic development of Freeport, something that we've been waiting for, that this administration, even in its blueprint for change, promised us. And so I'm simply saying is that the government wants full transparency, accountability in this process. Then it owes it to the residents of Freeport and Grand Bahama as a whole, and to the licensees to have a productive conversation, answer questions, because all of these can be answered with a simple town meeting by the Prime Minister and his advisors to remove the fear. Because what is happening right now is the investments that is now on the table can be threatened. There are individuals who are investing in the property thinking that certain benefits that would come under the Hawke's Bay Creek Agreement would continue. Is this a revocation of those benefits? Is this the point where Bahamians may be responsible now for real property tax retroactively, going back and other different things? These are a lot of questions that is unanswered also. So this isn't just a two-person fight. Understand this. The Hawke's Bay Creek Agreement is an agreement for which the beneficiary facts are the Grand Bahama Port Authority, the licensees, and the government is not in isolation. It represents the interests of all Bahamians across the Bahamas. And I think it owes to the Bahamian people to come to the public in pure, transparent manner and have a conversation with us. If there's a question you can't answer right away, we'll give you a day or two to come back with the answer. But I think this administration owes it to us because this is huge. The future of Freeport is not about the people in Freeport. It's about the Bahamas. No more economic development can happen in this country without Freeport and Grand Bahama playing a primary role. And so when you disrupt Freeport, when you disrupt the growth, you are disrupting the growth and the viability of the entire Bahamas. And so these are conversations that government is supposed to have with its people. We elect them to govern for us, not to govern over us. Thank you so much.
All right, Seattle, and I appreciate the call. Thank you all doing the extra time today. Greatly appreciated it. It was very insightful. One of our
Thank you. It was great.
More,
and thank you, Seattle.
fiery,
That was well said.
Grand Bahama reports and Freeport reports. But I think a lot of Bahamians are passionate about it. But the more important thing to me is using this platform to educate Bahamians, especially those of us who do not live in Grand Bahama, and get it from you guys who feels it knows, so we know exactly what's going on. Because it could be Grand Bahama today, it could be us tomorrow in different shape or form. So we got to be aware of what's going on. And obviously, this needs to be worked out. This needs to be handled, I think, in proper arbitration with the proper entities, and get this rectified amicably. I don't think
not for me in the process. I'm as a business person who's happy and so glad to see things starting to come back and my island flourish, and as participating and putting more money back into the Treasury. I don't want it to take place on there. And I want to hear from my PM. I'd love him to come and speak to us. He has passion for rebuilding the island, and so does the DPM. You see that in what they're doing, but you've also got to speak to us at the same time and not just put little information out there. We have requested these meetings properly. We've gone through the proper connections. We haven't heard anything. We would like to be part of that and understand everything. And Darren's been such a great advocate for our association and for the licensees here. I can't thank him enough for that. We just want to understand everything and want people to understand it. And if you have the time, you need to look at the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. It's a very binding contract, and it's been amazing for the island, but it only works when the government and the port work together.
All right, Darren, before you get out of here, I got one more for you. Just, encapsulate it for me real quick as well.
No, for me, I just want for the Prime Minister to take time out of his busy schedule to come to Grand Bahama and to have a dialogue with the licensees of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Show us a level of respect. And if you have nothing to hide, and if this is an open chapter of what you're doing and you're doing it for the concern of the people, then come talk with us. Nothing for us, in the words of C. Allen, nothing for us without us.
Good stuff, man. I appreciate you guys. We'll do it again next Tuesday. We got to get to the break. And like I said, for everybody who texted in, who called in, who chimed in, good stuff as always. We got to keep the dialogue going, and we can't let this go to the back page. We got to get this settled. We got to get this right for the sake of Grand Bahama, Grand Bahamians, and all the Grand Bahamian licensees. The livelihoods are at stake with this. Because at the end of the day, as go Grand Bahama. Appreciate you all as always. We'll do it again next week. Have a great week, and we'll talk soon. Let's get to the break, Mr. Producer. After the break, we talking sports. Keep it right where you got it.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You get cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs, treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Whether you like it hot or you enjoy being original, KFC has the only chicken sandwiches with attitude, featuring 100% extra large white meat chicken fillets for 100% flavor. Enjoy the famous flavor of KFC 11 herbs and spices in the KFC Original Recipe Burger, or take the heat up a notch with a spicy filet with a KFC Kentucky Deluxe Sandwich. And for a limited time, enjoy your favorite sandwich with fries for only $7. That's how it's done. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Happy birthday to you. On Wednesday, April 10th, Guardian Radio 96.9 is turning 12. Every day for 12 years, Guardian Radio has given the Bahamas fresh news and smart talk. Join all the Guardian Radio's anniversary all day, Wednesday, April 10th, starting with Morning Blend and special guest, the Royal Bahamas Police Force Pop and Marching Band. Guardian Radio's 12th anniversary broadcast is sponsored by El Shaddai Party Rentals, Dunkin' Donuts, Tropical Gyros, Drifters, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Bristol Wine and Spirit.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
We're back at you 5:33 p.m. on the Tuesday, April 9th edition of Talking Heads. Pearly, short edition today, boy. Freeport Grand Bahama was hot, boy. I tell you,
I see that.
I tell you, that could be waiting for you on Thursday. I promise. That ain't going nowhere on open lines tomorrow. That could be bubbling for you on Thursday too, boy. My God.
Yeah, I see that. Maybe I may have to adjust my schedule Thursday with what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know you got some friends in Grand Bahama. You need to make a call.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go that route instead. What I was going to do on Thursday.
Yeah, man. But like I said, big day today. You know, last night UConn national championship, men repeated, like you said.
Dominant style.
That wasn't even close. That wasn't even pretty. That one was over a long time.
Yeah.
They're
talking dynasty.
I was just going to say they're talking UConn dynasty again. Neither Jim Calhoun didn't have one of his own, winning multiple national championships, but now. You know, this new incarnation
then they
looking good.
Ask him the question, is it a possibility that you may be taking up a new position at another school that may be opening up after today? He said, I'm not concerned about that. Which was the same response that,
I know how boy too.
Yeah, taking the
boy. But I tell you, Harbaugh put one on him though. He played that one well. Harbaugh played it well. I can't lie.
I don't think Hurley's gonna go. I think UConn will back up the money and pay him. But the key
that's
to it
not
is
Bobby Hurley. That's Danny Hurley, buddy. Danny's staying right here. That's the best of Danny. If that was Bobby probably would leave.
But the only thing I'm concerned about is in another maybe 3 to 5 years, you may only have three power conferences. And where UConn can end up and being interesting to see because, they really only, their powerhouse is just basketball. So they don't have a really good football team.
Yeah, their football came up for a little bit and then died off. But, when you claim it at UConn, it's Dan Orlovsky as the quarterback.
Yeah. So, yeah. That almost went over my head.
Yeah, but no, he played there. He was a Husky. UConn.
So I don't. So it'll be interesting. I can't see them going to SEC because I don't know what they bring to the SEC. Well, they do bring basketball, but we'll see.
Basketball, but they bring it in abundance. Knowing they're worth having you are worth having them in the power conference.
That's true. That's true.
Off of what they bring men and women's basketball alone collegiately, over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they decent in baseball too, for the most part.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. But I mean, yeah. But when they come to the College World Series, they can't keep up with the Stanfords and the others, Florida States and others like that.
No, I know. But speaking of baseball, how your Dodgers doing?
We won last night 4-2. Ohtani hit a home run.
There you go.
He's starting to heat up. He in the last 5 games, his batting average has jumped like 53 points.
Yeah, he's warming up.
Yeah, he's starting to heat up. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yankees won again, 7-0.
I know.
I like how they do Jazz them though.
Well, Jazz them. You look for Jazz them. Gonna be sellers by All-Star by
But
trade
Jazz
deadline.
had the night off last night.
Yeah, I saw that when I checked the stats. I saw he was off last night.
But yeah, man, listen, if they sell him by the All-Star break, I hope Jazz end up somewhere nice, man.
Yeah, on a contender. Yeah.
American League, he's 2 games
Oh,
over the Red
Yankees
Sox.
looking good. Yankees. You know, a lot of people are saying maybe it's a Dodger Yankee World Series. That would be great for baseball.
If things stay where they are, but very competitive in the AL East. Yankees are 9-2, Red Sox 7-4, Orioles 6-4, Rays 5-6, Blue Jays 5-6. A lot of baseball left to play there. Now over in the AL Central, I think you got some improvement this year from the bottom of the division, moving up a little bit. This looks like one of them Kansas City years. Guardians are 8-2, Tigers are 7-4, Royals are 6-4, and they won 4 straight.
We said this last year that this could be because this could be a different year. I ain't trusting that.
No, I'm just saying for now, it looks like some of the youth movement in Kansas City is panning out for them.
Yeah, but they played well last year until All-Star break, you know.
Right, and then they went bupkis, but I think they got enough pitching to last them.
I think the Guardians are pretty decent, but we'll see.
No, I'm not talking
That's
Royals winning
that's a very
that.
weak
I'm not
division.
talking Royals winning that division, but I'm speaking on the weakness thereof. They may have a chance at a wild card.
Yeah, that's a very weak team. No, I'm going to make the playoffs. The AL Central, only the winner can make the playoffs because the AL East is too strong.
AL West can be another division. I think this can be a crapshoot too.
Not necessarily. I remember the world champions come out of there, and Texas ain't that bad. Texas can
No,
be there.
I think it's going to be between the Angels, the Rangers. I think that we're going to see a box step from the Astros, Mariners, and Athletics this year.
Probably Athletics, they're pretty much, no. They're just trying to figure out where they can play baseball next year.
That's true. Aren't they in Vegas?
No, they don't go to Vegas till 2027. So the next 2 seasons,
So they're in limbo.
They're probably going to play in Sacramento. Sacramento's already welcomed them.
Right.
They've already started doing the.
And they got a minor league team in Sacramento, right?
Yeah. Sacramento trying to get them there to play for the next 2 years and try to get them to change their mind on Vegas.
All right, let's go to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Yeah, naughty, what's going on? Spurs.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Boy, I'm not a disappointed night, boy. Now, I was going with Zach Edie, boy. Not a disappointed night.
You should have gone with some Edie's ice cream. You would have been happier.
But you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Began.
And what you and Naughty was talking about yesterday, about a women college basketball that had improved. So the tickets was costing for that game, boy, $481 a person, boy.
Yeah.
And that's
and
the
some of
fee
the
with way
court
up
side
in
fees
the
are even more.
binoculars. So like you all
Listen.
say, at least 17 million people watched that game.
They had no. They had the LSU Iowa game was 12 million. The Iowa UConn game was 14 million. The championship game was 24 million viewers, the highest women's college basketball view ever.
Wow. Yeah, man, but Edie, them, man, they fall up, man. They was looking good in the first quarter. And then, boy, they couldn't do nothing in the second half, boy. Boy, them run them out of town in the second half. Well, anyhow, you're going a little over with
and we got
and everything, so I ain't keep you long. But let's go, Miami. Let's go. We got to beat them. We got to beat Atlanta tonight. We got to win at least the last 3 so we can get back in 6.
There we go. Good stuff, Muff. All right, Burley. We got to be quick because we got Rich Eisen taking us home with Overreaction Tuesday today. And it's a fully loaded episode, man. And Rich talking about a lot of things. So we just going to go rapid fire on all of these. All right? Here we go. Mavericks and the Hornets. I like the Mavericks in the win.
Mavs.
Pistons and the Sixers at home. I like the Sixers at home in the money line.
Sixers hot.
Raptors and Pacers. I like the Pacers on the road in Toronto to get it done.
Yeah.
Celtics and the Bucks. I like the Celtics with the points. Only 3
I like
points.
the Celtics to the win. I like the Celtics to the win.
Yeah, I
They
can
got
take them
Bucks
with the
to
money
win.
line. Yeah. I like the Celtics to win that one. Heat and the Hawks, man. I like the Heat, man. Just for Muff's sake, I can go with the Heat.
Yeah. I'll give them off that one today.
I like the Knicks over the Bulls
Yes.
in Chicago. I like the Magic over the Rockets in Houston.
Yes.
I like the Grizzlies. No, I like the Spurs over the Grizzlies.
Wemby, whatever you call him, he's really playing good basketball. Rookie of the year, defensive player of the year.
Yes, sir. I like the Thunder at home over the Kings tonight
Yes.
because everybody's healthy. I like the Timberwolves over the Wizards at home tonight.
Yes.
I like the Nuggets on the road against the Jazz.
Definitely.
I like the Warriors against the Lakers until the Lakers show me something different and possibly no AD with the eye injury tonight.
AD is a game time decision, isn't he?
I hearing other stuff about that eye, though. He might be a game time decision, meaning sit your butt down.
He can play. He can play.
Hopefully. If AD plays, then I go with the Lakers.
I'm going to Lakers either way.
All right, we got the Clippers and the Suns. I like the Suns at home over the Clippers.
Actually, I like the Clippers tonight. I'm pulling for the Clippers
All
tonight.
right, Pelicans on the road against the Blazers. I like the Pelicans to get it done.
I like the Pelicans.
All right, good stuff, Pearly, man. We got to take a quick break, and on the flip side of the break, Rich Eisen will be taking us home, man. So good stuff as always, and we'll chime in again tomorrow, man. Appreciate you.
All right, brother. Be good. If you can't be good, be careful.
Man, you can't be good at it, man. Thank everybody for chiming in, man. And, shout out to my better half, MJ, doing big things right now, out and about with the boys, holding it down, man. Appreciate you.
Way to go, MJ. Way to go.
Man.
Way to go, sis.
All right,
Way
we
to
got
go,
to
sis.
shout
Hey,
out.
nephews.
We talk about the Spurs, so we got to shout out,
Yeah.
It
I like what her Spurs are doing.
ain't this year, but next year, boy, that'll be plenty mouth we have to deal with, Pearly. I just can let you know.
No, you live with her. You have to deal with it. I can always go home.
That's true, too, but I can keep you there as long as you can. You can, but you ain't gonna keep you, can tote, you can drag. Anyway, I go. See you later.
All right, brother. Be safe.
Are you ready for the best of the best? Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group up for sound promotion, and Guardian Radio presents the best of the best Rake and Script Explosion Concert. Mark your calendars as grounds ignite with Bahamian talent featuring KB, Gino D, Funky D, Veronica Bishop, The Brylanders, Avi, Elon Moxie, and Shine 242.
Right now I feel like whining.
Join the Falcons, Iron Storm, Sylvie Pierre, Johnny Cake, Mama D, Nishi LS, Pat Ramis, Stevie S, and Shad Colley and the VIPs for an electrifying night of music and culture. Tickets are flying, so grab yours now. Available online at BahamaZTickets.com or swing by the Beauty Shack on Soldier Road and Carmichael Road. This is the event of the year. The best of the best Rake and Scrape Explosion at Breezes Resorts. Gates open at 6 p.m. Don't miss out on the Bahamian Magic.
Attention ice cream lovers! Are you ready to elevate your springtime indulgence and taste of luxury with Haagen-Dazs? For a limited time only, treat yourself to the quality of Haagen-Dazs ice cream for just $8.99 per pint. Yes, you heard that right. Indulge in the finest flavors without breaking the bank. This exclusive offer is available at all Lickety Split and Super Value locations. Experience the premium quality of Haagen-Dazs at an unbeatable price. Spring has never tasted this good.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
The excitement, the fierce competition, the entertainment. On May 4th and 5th, our Bahamian athletes will compete with hundreds of the best from around the world to secure their spot in the Paris Olympics.
Gardner takes the title.
Come witness history from paradise to Paris at the 2024 World Athletic Relays, May 4th and 5th at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Get your tickets now at worldrelaysbahamas24.org or at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium box office.
Happy birthday to you. On Wednesday, April 10th, Guardian Radio 96.9 is turning 12. every day. For 12 years, Guardian Radio has given the Bahamas fresh news and smart talk. Join all the Guardian Radio hosts as they celebrate Guardian Radio's anniversary all day, Wednesday, April 10th, starting with Morning Blend and special guest, the Royal Bahamas Police Force Pop and Marching Band. Guardian Radio's 12th anniversary broadcast is sponsored by El Shaddai Party Rentals, Dunkin' Donuts, Tropical Gyros, Drifters, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Crystal Wine and Spirit.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
That was terrible. That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction Monday on a Tuesday.
There we go. I actually didn't step on the end of that.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
I've been better.
Everybody good?
Good to be back.
I was good until about 6 minutes ago.
Good to be back.
Good to be back.
Mike, you good?
I'm good. I'm always good. We know Mike's good because...
Okay, he doesn't care about this job.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't care about the job.
You don't.
You don't.
You really don't.
We're overreacting.
We're overreacting. Mike, it's an overreaction. You were more excited than you were sad, right?
Yeah, people at home have no idea what we're talking about. It's good. Just keep it in.
More excited than you are sad?
No! You guys don't. You see,
No. Don't worry. We can move on.
Cool, move on. All right, I wanted to get on this yesterday. I was reading this story. Anthony Richardson. Oh, he's excited to come back and lead this Colts team.
I'm excited to see him back.
Colts back in the playoffs in 2020.
Not an overreaction. I don't know. As you know, you always have to take one out in order to put one in when you're talking about new playoff teams.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, the kid that you see on your Roku channel screen, and for the radio audience, I will describe, it's Anthony Richardson.
He's a giant.
That he is one of the greatest mysteries of the 2024 season and how he can affect the fortunes of his team and change the fortunes of his team, because he looked like a big problem for defenses. However, the ultimate big problem is he could be difficult to stay healthy for him. So that's what we don't know. Will we find out if he's got an injury bug problem? Or is that an outlier that was unfortunate for him, and he will now come back and just be the guy that allows the Colts to just tell the Texans, great buzz you got there in March and April. Nice team you had go on that run last year. But guess what? If we only had stopped C.J. Stroud going up top to Nico Collins to start our winner-go-home game in our final week of the season, we would have gone to the playoffs. You would not have. And guess what? This is our division to win. And I can't wait to see it. Because the Colts, when you speak to anyone in the Colts organization, even off the air too, as I did multiple times at the Combine, good Lord, do they love Anthony.
Job you do at the Combine.
I appreciate you saying that.
The multiple jobs that you have, you're outstanding.
So I didn't get nominated, and the show didn't get nominated, but Del Tufo did for his other Fox stuff, and that's why we mentioned before that he's happier more than he said. But thank you. Long story short.
I'm just going to say,
long story short. No.
What you do, it's out there and I'm saying it.
Long story short.
You were celebrating, Mike.
The Emmys came out, by the way, about 20 minutes ago. People wondering.
Congrats to everyone who did get it.
Correct.
I'm not congratulating nobody.
But the Colts love Anthony Richardson, and everything you hear about Anthony Richardson from the Colts is it's not just how much of a good individual he is, but it's that he also is a great professional.
That means a lot. Yeah.
And that he really knows what it will take and understands what it does take to be a leader of a franchise at a CEO-like position like the quarterback, and also knows the names of everybody in the facility who is in the cafeteria and security. Like, he's owning his role. So, long-winded way of saying that's not an overreaction.
Who's out in the
Oh, God, now you went there.
We did this a little bit last week, too.
Are the Steelers the lowest of that hanging fruit?
The Steelers were 7. They were 10-7 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins. I actually think all three of them might be out. Browns, Dolphins, Steelers.
Ah, man. the Browns are really flying under a radar right now for a lot of people.
Bengals back in. Jets, maybe Chargers.
Well, this is, you know what, Chris? This is a July question.
Okay, a July at post draft.
This is a July question. I don't have all the information. I don't have all the information. But all I'm saying is Anthony Richardson is enough of a wild card, a huge question mark that's not an overreaction. What else, Chris?
I might go 6 new playoff teams in the West.
Don't get crazy. You've already changed this. You've already changed it.
Moving on. We're moving on. Jay Billis kind of stepped on this. I had written this before we talked to Jay. UConn, after winning yesterday 6 titles in 25 years, the premier blue blood in college basketball.
How are they not right now? They just went back to back. I mean, in terms of recency bias, the answer is yes. That's not an overreaction. But who else? Who else?
Hey, I mean, the traditionals: Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky.
Yeah, but
they're no way. UConn's far.
Last year, if I'm not mistaken, the other Final Four teams were Florida Atlantic, coached by my new head coach, and Miami, and San Diego State. Yeah. And this year, it was Purdue, Alabama, and NC State. So you've got one constant, correct?
Correct.
And it's the team that went back to back. The year before, now North Carolina told Coach K, enjoy your Aflac commercials, right? And then went on to win it, telling Bill Self, enough, right? So, or it was the other way around, right? I'm trying to remember this sort of thing. But I mean, those were more of the Blue Bloods, Kansas and Duke and North Carolina.
Which have all won multiple chips in the last 20
Kansas
years.
won.
Kansas won that.
Bill Self won.
Right. So.
But that was a blue blood Final Four.
I
that was
understand.
Kansas, UNC, Duke, and Villanova.
Correct. And so
Villanova has 2 in that time.
And UConn is now erased these memories, clearly enough for me to initially think North Carolina won that one, but no, it's Kansas that took care of business. So the blue blood is North Carolina, is UConn right now. End of story. Not an overreaction. Totally believe. And then you think since 1999, there's only one school that has won 6. 6.
Kind of like the Patriots.
What else, Chris? Oh, God.
It's the best sports month of the year, which means NBA playoffs start soon, TJ. And you know what? I'm just going to say it.
Oh, here you go.
Anything less than a Celtics-Nuggets NBA Finals matchup, major disappointment.
Why would you say that?
These are the 2 best teams. One team clearly better than everyone else in the league. Defending champs, going to be the MVP. If these teams don't meet in the finals, it's going to be a major bummer, and it's going to be a super letdown of the NBA season.
I don't understand. I don't understand it.
On this hard, if I could, after you, Rich.
Let me just say my thing, and then you go first.
No, I defer.
No, no. You so rarely say I'm going to push back hard, so you have the floor.
All right, okay. For globally, worldwide, if some reason, some way, the Los Angeles Lakers were to get to the finals and let's just say play the Celtics, I think that would be more highly anticipated.
What do we want to see a sweep for?
Oh, okay.
Well, if you're ESPN, you don't want to see Paul LeBron get carried out in a body bag by the Celtics.
Take your fandom out of this. In the big picture, a Lakers-Celtics final is the biggest thing that we could have.
And a 4-game sweep where every game is a 20-point game. The Celtics are so much better than the Lakers. It's not even funny. It would not be a good series. Be honest.
But I don't understand. Like, why would you already discount any sort of magical run happening?
It doesn't happen in the NBA. NBAs don't get magical runs like the NCAA tournament.
Well, didn't the Miami Heat go on one last year until they got curb stomped?
I would say so. Yeah.
Until they got
that's the whole
curb
thing is I don't understand. Like that's what we love about.
Resonate.
That's what we love about March Madness. But if we see one in the NBA, it's a disappointment. I don't understand.
Well, did they win?
Well, I mean, you're playing the result.
The best team always wins.
You're playing the result.
The best team always wins the NBA title. In March for the NCAA tournament, the best team doesn't always win. Won this year. Last year, UConn came out of nowhere.
Well, then we're the best team.
Over 6 games.
I don't know. I'm just being. How about this? Can we change the? I so rarely do this. Can we change the graphic on the screen to say anything less than a Celtics Nuggets NBA final would be a major disappointment for Brockman? Put for Brockman, if you don't mind, at the end of that on-screen
and then what
Chiron.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Mike
best
Hoskins.
Teams play in the NBA finals?
Now, That's not an overreaction. That's spot on.
I'm
See
sorry.
how you change it?
I'm sorry that everyone else in this room likes
For
watching
Brockman,
mediocre basketball. You don't want to see
that's
the two best teams play
accurate.
at the highest level for maybe a 7-game series. Sorry.
That's accurate.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
See, we're
You'd
lockstep.
rather see a
Well,
banged
the way
up
I
Sixers
see
play
you
a
and you
cursed
see me
Clippers
right
No
now,
offense,
TJ.
Chris. The way Rich just pivoted there, live
Yeah.
TV, no
Okay,
writers,
this guy.
no
That's
teleprompters,
true.
on the
No,
fly,
seriously.
something a lot of other hosts could not do.
That's a good point.
I want to.
That's
You
a
know
good
what?
point.
You're Roman Reigns right now. I'm acknowledging you. Rich.
Thank you, sir.
I am acknowledging
Thank you.
We're your bloodline. I'm acknowledging
We
you.
are
for
your
that,
bloodline. That is
Okay?
a fact.
There's nobody in your
Roman
ear.
Reigns
There's
back
no
in the lab today, TJ. Did you see that? He's back.
Well,
What else you got?
Champions
We can
don't
move
take
on.
a lot of time off.
Thank you very
I
much.
acknowledge you, Rich.
We're gonna
As we know, it's Masters Week. We're going to hear from Tiger Woods.
Okay.
Maybe in a minute.
wait.
The Masters is the best non-football sporting event of the year.
Hold on.
What? Hold on. What?
I got to think. I got to evaluate.
Like I was
By
directly
the way-
asking you a question.
By the
looked at
way,
me, you looked at
as
me.
somebody else in the room who has a child, and you are having a child closer to somebody who has of an age who's made in his pants. That's where our kids go. Hold on a second.
Wait a second.
What happened? I just went potty.
Daddy, I went poop.
Honestly,
What?
that's what I thought for a second. Plus, I thought you were going to change the music since it's very
I didn't know what you were
unmasters-like.
doing. Yeah, can we get
You must have. You must have.
Can we
like,
get the birds
You got to get the
chirping in
birds
the
chirping in the
background?
background.
What's going on?
Birds?
You
I
got
got
birds.
birds.
You do this every
I'll give
year.
birds,
You got
I'll
to
give
get this ready for the Masters update. Which, by the way, we cannot have Al Pacino's news update every time we do the
my
Masters
eyes
update.
see.
My eyes see. Okay, very good.
Here it comes.
No, it's all right.
Okay, Mike, were you thinking? Did you come up with one?
A
The best non-football sporting event
No,
of
hold
the
on a
year.
second. Are the Olympics involved?
Masters
Are
is
we,
better than the Olympics.
Are we
Come on,
involved in
people.
World Cup soccer?
Let me just say
I'm
something.
gonna
Come on.
say I gotta go Masters because I watch Saturday and Sunday.
Even the casuals watch the Masters.
Yeah, and I do. So I'm with you.
Green jackets.
I don't know.
Gold jackets.
Whatever.
You know what I mean?
I just came from a
Pimento
2-day
cheese
event in
sandwiches.
Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Stop,
Yeah,
TJ.
go ahead.
Lincoln
Show off your
Financial.
chair that you checked. He actually came back with a folding chair from WrestleMania that he checked
Are
onto
you
the
going to hit
flight.
Del Tufo with it because he's
Look
celebrating
at that
getting
seat.
nominated over us?
We got
Wow.
Seth
No,
Rollins,
he
friend of the
doesn't
show.
wanna break that.
We got Cody Rhodes, friend of the show. We got Roman Reigns, The Rock. We got Becky Lynch. We got, who else? Oh, that's Rhea Ripley up there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to say I had a pretty good sporting event for the last 2 days, but I know how some
Kentucky
people
Derby.
See, Chris,
about
can you go to the
wrestling.
Masters and bring back a folding chair?
You can't.
Yeah,
Can I go to the Masters and bring back a folding
You
chair?
can
Yeah.
get into the Masters. Can you?
They would never let you leave.
Yeah,
They would
they have a
never
chair.
let you leave with a folding chair.
That I stole from the mat?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Well,
I'm not sneaking into Butler Cabin and stealing Jim
Are you
Nance's
implying
chair.
I stole this chair?
That's like Biff Loman stealing the pen.
Did you steal the chair?
No,
Okay.
it was my chair.
You got anything else?
Last
Is that it?
one.
You got one
Oh,
more?
hold on.
What music does he need to play? Careful. What do you got?
Wait, Mike.
Hold on.
No, he's got that.
Here's
He's
the deal.
played that.
I was watching practice footage.
Oh, God. This is the
He's
annual.
got the Sunday red gear on.
This is
He's
the annual.
looking spry. Will Zalatoris said he's never seen him play better.
Oh, God.
Tiger Woods is finishing in the top 20 this week.
Oh, my God.
What are you smoking, bro? Give me some.
He's doing it. I'm back.
There's
He's playing with Max and Jason Day. The last time he played with oh my good, look how great he looks.
I do.
He's smiling.
He's back from the influenza.
I do.
He's back.
He's back.
He's bounced back from his Genesis
Whatever was going on
Invitational
at Riviera
influenza.
a couple months
You
ago.
don't usually bounce back from GII this way.
Not that quickly.
Genesis Invitational influenza is very difficult to bounce back from. Hey, listen.
Sounds good. He
Listen.
looks good.
Listen.
He's flushing it.
There are 2 pieces of cheese.
Top 20.
You take every April.
Cheese stands alone.
2 pieces of cheese. It's the Tiger cheese. It's the Rory cheese. Those